Well, good morning. Welcome to Thought for the Day. We talk when we sing in Christian circles quite a lot about giving up everything for God. I surrender all. But I wonder if those are just words or if there's more to it. And I wanted to tell you about a moment in my life when those words became rather more reality. I'd reached a low point. I really didn't know where to turn. There seemed to be nowhere to go in the situation I was in. As you do when these things happen, I woke up in the middle of the night, and in the middle of the night, the worries and the troubles became even more vivid, even more inescapable, and it just felt. I can't go on like this. And I was so wide awake. I thought I'm going to get up, and I'm going to go. I don't know where I'm going to go. I remembered Jesus' words, and I'm taking them probably slightly out of context, about taking nothing for the journey. So I I threw some clothes on. I had to grab a Bible and a notebook. I didn't quite have the faith to go out without my wallet, so I took my wallet and my phone. But that was it. I didn't know where to go. I just headed out. I didn't know quite how I was going to go. Maybe I was going to go and wait for the first train and go and get a train somewhere and go and stay with some relatives or friends. Didn't know who. Maybe I was going to catch buses and make my way across the country. Maybe I was just going to walk. But in the end, after wandering around a bit, not quite sure which way to go, I thought I probably need to head for the city. I've got the choices when I get there. If I get to the station, or I can maybe find buses, or just keep walking. And the first thing that happened after I'd been walking for probably half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, a couple of miles, is that I started to remember things I wished I'd brought with me. But then I couldn't, because I'd walked. And it would waste a lot of time to walk back another couple of miles. I wished I'd brought my bike with me. I could have gone faster, but I was constrained. I could only go at walking speed. At that time in the morning, there were no buses. There was no anything. It was just me and the road. I could only go as fast as my walking legs could carry me. And as I let go of those things, let go of I wish I'd brought, I wish I could go, I wish I'd taken a different direction. In that powerlessness, I started to notice what was around me. Notice the different houses I was going past, the different, maybe more comfortable houses. Then, maybe as you get closer to the city, you see the more crowded areas and the flats. No one around at that time of the morning. The odd car going past. Into the city, there's by sort of 4 in the morning, pretty much everything's closed. There was just one place open. I couldn't see the front of it, but I could hear sounds in the back, which claimed to be adult entertainment. It seemed to me that what was going on there was probably not very mature, and was certainly not very entertaining. There were 1 or 2 individuals on the streets, but in the darkness, one's always a bit suspicious. And people keep their distance in the darkness. They don't smile at each other as they might during the day. What's someone doing out at night? What are their motives? What are they there for? Probably all entirely innocent, but there's a nervousness at night. As it got a little bit closer today, you started to see little groups of people, groups 3 or 4, mainly men, the odd woman, probably quite a lot of them smoking. Noticed Eastern European, really waiting for the gangmasters to pick them up to go off to wherever they were going to work for much less than the minimum wage. Continued to walk and eventually got out into into the country, out of the city. Headed off roads onto a footpath. It was still dark, so at this stage, just keeping going and but getting my feet in the right place, not in puddles, not in mud. That took all my concentration in the dark. You strain your eyes to see the little bits of reflection that say there's a puddle there, and you step round it. But gradually the sky lightened, and I could started to be able to see a little bit more clearly. Walking became easier, and each little bit of light allowed me to concentrate slightly less on simply where I was going to put my feet. It gave me a bit of spare brain power to think more clearly and to see the situation I'd walked away from in a new light. Literally, as it got light, it allowed me to see things in a new light. I saw more clearly what had been going on. I saw more clearly my own part in it. Saw more clearly who I was, maybe in a way where I needed to go, although nothing was solved in that moment. But I saw too that, maybe more clearly than I had when I left, that I had a God who knew me, who was with me on that journey. Remembered the line I think I probably mentioned to you before. Can't imagine the freedom. We can't imagine the freedom we find from the things we leave behind. And as I'd left behind everything, I found a freedom to go where I wanted, certainly, but also to think clearly about things that in the middle of everything I couldn't think clearly about. And I don't want to encourage you this morning necessarily to get up in the middle of the night and go off walking, you don't know where, don't know when. But maybe there is an encouragement to find the space to away from the things, away from the clutter of life, to discover the God who knows you, the God who loves you, the God who's got a purpose for you, the God for whom, if it really came to it, I would surrender all. God bless.